Welcome to This Strange World. I'm Gavin.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Chris.
Every week we're going to be talking about strange topics ranging from weird laws to conspiracy theories to so much more.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at This Strange World Podcast. And now let's see what we're going to be talking about this week.
Enjoy the podcast.
Hello, welcome to This Strange World. We're here with our first episode. Isn't this crazy, guys? First episode.
Yeah, first episode.
Woo. This is a podcast. There was a little intro. You know what it's about now. This was based off a school project that we did for our final project for a class. Leah, tell us about what our final project was.
So we were all in a class together. It was like a media technology research writing class. And the final project was to basically make a podcast, make it about some news going on, or pick a subject that you like and make a podcast based on it. We really liked wacky laws. And so we're kind of gonna go on from this project from class and really expand on it and talk about new subjects. So yeah, that's our plan.
What's interesting about this podcast than the one before was we focused on it was an episode with wacky laws, and then our plan for this one is we're opening up the umbrella to focus on a more broader range of topics that we can talk about. So the first one we had laws, so this is a continuation of that law podcast. And then we're going to go into conspiracy theories, we're going to go into cults, we're going to go into horror stories.
Yeah, creepypastas. There's so many different things that we wanted to talk about and expand upon and just talk about how strange this world is. So like you just said, the thing that we talked about in class was weird laws. And so we decided to dig more into that, and we're going to talk about some weird animal laws today, specifically, because those were what we found were our favorites from looking at all the different weird laws. I mean, another one of my favorites was it's illegal for a pickle to not bounce in Connecticut.
That was an interesting one.
Laws like that. Or, Chris, you had one, was it in Ohio? With nuclear waste?
Yeah, it was in Ohio, and the law was that you could own a nuclear bomb, but you couldn't detonate it. So it was legal to have one. You just couldn't light it on fire. You just couldn't blow it up.
Stuff like that. So anyway,
that's our old project. This is gonna be something new. So
yeah, every week there's gonna be a different kind of topic we'll delve into. One of us will be delving into it. I'll be leading the discussion on this one of the weird animal laws. Next week we talk about a conspiracy. Spoiler alert, Leah will lead that. And after that, who knows? We'll be talking about different things. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So I was looking on the internet for different animal laws, and they're not all really from theoretically the most reputable sources. There's not really like a U.S. government site that's like weird animal laws. Like it wasn't the easiest thing to find. I found one from pawculture.com, dogtime.com, a lot of stuff like that. I'll list them off more at the end. So these are all some weird laws that definitely have to do with some weird scenarios. Some of these have explanations, some of them don't. Some of these have like the more specific laws. So we'll jump right in. The first one is from the state of Oregon, and the law is that it's illegal for your dog to bark for more than 10 minutes.
I feel like that's really hard to control because especially we have a puppy in our family now, and that puppy barks for an hour sometimes, and I don't think you can really control how long a dog barks.
Yeah, I assume it means like outdoors, like if other people can hear it, like if it's a bother, like not that you're keeping your puppy in a locked basement where no one can hear it, but the more extended version of it states it is unlawful for any person to permit any animal to cause annoyance, alarm, or noise disturbance to any person or neighborhood by barking, whining, screeching, howling, braying? What do you know what braying is? I don't know what that is.
Never heard of that.
Braying or other sounds which may be heard beyond the boundary of the owner's or keeper's property under conditions wherein the animal sounds are shown to have occurred either as an episode of continuous noise lasting for a minimum period of 10 minutes or repeated episodes of intermittent noise lasting for a minimum period of 30 minutes.
I'm just imagining like this old neighbor.
Yeah, this is in...
Oh, that dog is barking. And they have like a stopwatch. And it's like they're like at 9:50 and it's like ticking. And then 9:59 it stops barking. She's like, crap.
Yeah, someone's waiting by their door with a stopwatch for it to be like, the moment they start hearing barking, they're like, Karen, grab the stopwatch. Because there's someone named Karen involved. That was in Multnomah County, Oregon. All right, so for the next law, this is in the state of Wisconsin. It does say in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, cats are not allowed in public cemeteries. Now I feel like this one kind of makes sense. It says the image of a black cat sneaking around a dusky cemetery is a Halloween staple, but in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, the cat and all other cats plus dogs would be breaking the law.
Oh, so they include all animals then?
Yeah, I
So
don't know
it's
why
not
they
just
say
cats, it's
cats.
dogs
Per
too.
the city's code of ordinance, an exception is made for trained service and assistance dogs, but those towards transgressors, the punishment is unknown. Also unknown, how to tell said cat to stay out of said cemeteries. That's another good point, is how, like, if you see a black cat, it doesn't even say it's a black cat. So it's really any cat. But if you see a cat, how can you be like, hey, you're not around here, I'm going to have to call the police? Do you
I
arrest
mean,
the cat?
that's something like
Just-
they can climb up trees, they can really jump, and they can really fit through slim fencing and everything. So I don't know how you.
Well, a cat doesn't know what a cemetery is. You know, they're just
Exactly.
gonna walk
I
in a
mean, they
yard.
just
How do you
wander where
stop
they
the cat?
want.
Yeah, they're just
How
walking
do you
through,
stop
like, the
the cat
woods,
from
and all of a
getting
sudden they're
inside?
like, oh, there's some stones here. Oh, there's some dead body. Oh, I shouldn't be here. It's a
Oh,
cemetery.
this is a cemetery.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Well, continuing with the kind of pet theme, in Galesburg, Illinois, it is illegal to keep a smelly dog. According to Sydney ordinance, quote, no person shall keep or maintain any animal, poultry, or fowl in such a manner to cause inconvenience or disturbance to other persons by reason of noise, odor, or other cause.
But don't dogs smell like
Normally?
anyways? Yeah.
Well, they really smell
w-
after you give them a bath.
Well, so this,
Wait, like how do you draw the line between like
I
what's a
guess you
smelly
gotta
dog and what's
constantly
just
be
a
giving your
normal
dog a bath. It does say that there is some good news that you might not be under arrest because in a 2012 interview, Galesburg Police Chief Dave Christensen said, we rarely, if ever, enforce this ordinance other than the occasional chicken complaint. So it sounds like it needs to be a big problem for someone to be like, in this one town in Illinois, for someone to be like, hey, can you arrest that person? Their dog smells like
Can you
poop."
imagine calling the cops on someone because their chicken smells?
They got a
You've got an
They
animal
gotta
and it
raise-
smells.
Like imagine calling the cops being like, my neighbor, his chicken is really
He's
stinky.
a little stinky. He's got a little stinky boy. Can you please take care of him? Moving along, in Wyoming, I don't know if this has to do with a specific place, but it says in the state of Wyoming, it is illegal to photograph rabbits between the months of January and April. So it says, do you like taking pictures of animals? Of course you do. Unfortunately, for a number of years, the state of Wyoming made it illegal to photograph game animals, including rabbits, without a permit. Even weirder, the law was only upheld for the first few months of the year.
That's interesting.
Is that like a wildlife protection?
If you had to guess what year this rule was made, what year would you guess?
Mhm.
I'll read the rule. It shall be unlawful for any person or persons to photograph any of the game animals or birds of the state during the months of January, February, March, and April, except in the manner hereinafter provided in this section. When do you think they made that rule? What year?
Well, it had to have been after they made a camera. You know, it had to have been.
Yeah. Maybe like someone
Post-camera
was taking a picture of a
invention.
rabbit and then like someone got hurt or something and
What was the
yeah, it
year?
has to be something recent because if you're involving a camera, cameras
Yeah.
aren't really like
I'm
that.
gonna say that was like a early 1900s.
Yeah.
1921 is when they made the rule. So it says, any responsible person who shall desire to photograph any of the game animals or birds in the state during the months of January, February, March, and April may up the payment of, how much do you think it costs for a permit to entitle a person to photograph a game animal? I won't give it away. We'll make it a guessing game. How much do you
Yeah.
If
think
it
it
was in the
costs?
20s, like $20. If it's in the
Yeah.
20s,
What do you think, Leah?
Like 200, 500?
$5.
Oh, no.
So, but actually, it says that this law was scrapped. So if you see a rabbit in Wyoming today, you can take as many pictures as you want. So this next one comes out of Alaska, and it says animals cannot enter beauty salons for the purpose of hairdressing. No owner of any animal or person having control of any animal shall allow such animal to enter into any barbershop or establishment for the practice of hairdressing or beauty culture. Now, here's my question with this one. Are they talking about that they're not able to get a haircut or give a haircut? That's my main question.
what was the end of that law?
It says, no owner of any animal or person having control of any animal shall allow such animal to enter into any barbershop or establishments for the practice of hairdressing or beauty culture. It also says people think this was made to stop dogs from getting haircuts in a human salon. Not that they're legally unable to, but just because it's a human place, I guess.
Probably like the dog receiving the haircut or
There's probably
Yeah.
someone who was like, a pet salon costs a lot of money, especially in Alaska. They probably don't have a lot of pet salons there. They were like, let's go to the barber shop on the corner. Let's see if Vinny can give my
They got-
dog a
They got
haircut.
scissors.
They got scissors. They know how to cut
They
hair.
got scissors.
Apparently, it is illegal to sell a dog's or cat's excess hair in Delaware. You want to hear the criminal code?
What?
A person
Yeah.
is guilty of the unlawful trade in hair or cat byproduct in the second degree if the person knowing or recklessly sells, barters, or offers for sale or barter the fur or hair of a domestic dog or cat. And it says it appears this law is meant to protect pets from people using their fur to make things, but it's worded in such a way that makes it sound like fur collecting is a major problem in Delaware, which is pretty
I
weird.
think that sometimes like dogs have lice or could have germs, so I kind of see why that law
It
exists.
seems like it's protecting people from having like a cat fur blanket, but yeah. Like it says, it makes it sound
if you
like.
have a cat fur blanket, there's more wrong with you than the fur trade.
Well, I think it's
of
that
cats.
you don't want to get duped into having a cat fur blanket. You don't want to think you're buying
I
something
got
else. Turns out someone made you a cat fur blanket. But it just makes it sound like fur collecting is just a big problem in Delaware.
Well, I'm just imagining like this guy in a hoodie, like on the street corner, like, hey, you got any more of that
Hey, I
cat hair?
If you have a lint roller, my pants have so much cat hair on them. I want to sell them and get rid of them. That's what it'd be on the corner. Moving on, still talking about cats. Black cats must wear bells on Friday the 13th in the state of Indiana. The citizens of French Lick Springs were so stricken with triskaidekaphobia. It's the fear of Friday the 13th. I totally just butchered that.
Atta boy, Gavin.
That they
Attaboy.
passed the law in 1939. 3 years later, the New York Times wrote about it. Said all black cats in this all black cats in this place will wear bells on Friday the 13th by municipal decree as a war measure to alleviate mental strain upon the populace. The practice was introduced on Friday, October 13th, 1939, and enforced. Can you guys hear my dog barking?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think so. Is it just make sure he's not barking more than 10 minutes because I might have to call the cops.
Exactly. The practice was introduced on Friday, October 13th, 1939, and enforced on all fateful Fridays since, except last year when a number of minor mishaps occurred.
That has to be a superstition.
Yeah.
That's
Like, what if there's
one
like a
of those,
stray black
like-
cat? Like,
You better put a bell on it.
yeah, catch it and put a bell.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, so this is the last one on this website. I'll move to another website. But so in the state of Georgia, this one is about goldfish. Chris, I know you're super into goldfish. He's not.
I love goldfish.
He's never mentioned goldfish. I just
He
assume.
likes the food.
I just
That's-
assume by
I
his
love
demeanor he
goldfish.
must love goldfish.
They're like my favorite animal.
Have you ever had a goldfish when you were young?
I had two.
You did?
Yeah, I had two.
What happened to them? Did you kill
Yeah,
them?
they were supposed to live for like a month, and I got them and they lived for 6 years.
They lived for
and
6 years?
My brother tried to clean the bowl with hand sanitizer.
Wow.
Yeah. They lived for 6
No.
years, and then my brother thought that it was a really smart idea to clean the fish. You know how you're supposed to clean the fish water to dump them out and
Yeah.
change the hand sanitizer, and it doesn't work.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
there goes Sunny and
Well,
another, I forget the other fish.
At least you don't live in the state of Georgia. Not that this would have to do with the law, but goldfish may not be given away to entice someone to enter a game of bingo in Georgia. So you can't say, hey, you want to play bingo? Here's a goldfish in the state of
I
Georgia.
have a goldfish for you.
Yeah, a lot of people play bingo for money or for fun, but if you know someone who's taken home a goldfish, know that they weren't playing in Athens, Clarke County, Georgia. The Code of Ordinance says, no person in Athens, Clarke County shall give away any live animal, fish, reptile, or bird as a prize for or as an inducement to enter any contest, game, or other competition, or an inducement to enter a game of amusement or offer such animal as an incentive to enter into any business agreement whereby the offer was the purpose of attracting trade.
So you can't.
All these
Like, you know how you go to
code
the fair?
ordinances are very complex.
Yeah, well,
tongue
they have to
twisters.
cover all their bases. So that means you can't. I got my goldfish we were playing a game and we won, and then they gave us the goldfish, and you can't do that.
No, not in
In
that one.
Georgia?
Not in Athens, Clarke County, Georgia. You cannot do that.
Like, we had a carnival in like my elementary school or something where you would like go for carnival day, and they had little goldfish in one of those miniature swimming pools that were portable for little kids. And I remember two of my old friends decided to play the game, but they didn't win the game, so they couldn't get a live goldfish, so they kind of asked for one that had No.
They got a dead goldfish. for
They
a
got
prize.
like
goodness.
2 of them because they were like, we didn't win, so we'll just take the 2 dead fish. And thank you very much.
Jeez. Let's move on to a different article from dogtime.com. Okay, so this website doesn't have quite as much information as the last website, but it's still got some pretty weird laws. We're starting off. Animals in California are not permitted to mate within 500 yards of a church or school. It was most likely intended to prevent children and churchgoers from viewing the public spectacle of sexual shenanigans between animals. So I guess
That's
that
my
can only
favorite.
make sense. I guess that makes sense.
Keep it pure for Jesus.
Exactly.
I don't want to see none of that.
You don't want to see any
in my
animals
churchyard.
getting it on near a church or a school. What kind of vibe is that? That's just the wrong vibes. They don't know. They're not
But
socially
you
aware.
can't decide what nature is allowed to do its thing, you know?
You're right.
Excuse me, but in the view of God, you're not. You can't have that
In the view of
devil's
God,
work.
you cannot, not, especially not animals. No. Maybe it'd be different for endangered animals. I wonder if it would change.
No devil's wrestling in my schoolyard.
Chris, what's the thing you always say to me? It's like not in my Christian household or something.
Oh yeah, when you swear, and I'm like, excuse me, not in my Christian dorm room.
Exactly.
First of all, I mainly swear in my dorm room, so that's not yours. But moving on.
Moving on. Another law in Connecticut: dogs with tattoos must be reported to the authorities. And then it says, those dogs with tattoos, they aren't punks on paws. Tattoos are a common way of identifying dogs, so reporting tattooed dogs to community shelter authorities can help return them to their owners if they're lost. All right, the explanation made it sound much lamer than what it is. I thought we had some super sick dogs with tattoos that were in like biker gangs. That's what it sounded like.
I mean, like, if it's, like, branding tattoos, like, I know on horses, like, my horse has a brand on it to know, because, you know.
Yeah.
Like, with dogs now, and for cats, they have, like, microchips and stuff, so why
yeah.
would you, yeah.
I wish we had more biker gang dogs. Probably not. I don't know. Who knows?
That would really make it a strange world.
Dogs wearing leather jackets and whatever.
It's
That could
like
be
it's
pretty
like dogs
tight.
playing poker.
Yeah, pretty tight. In Sterling, Colorado, cats may not roam freely unless they are wearing a tail light.
A tail light?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a butt plug that has a light or what.
Like a butt plug that has a light reflector or something
Yeah,
on there.
like I don't know why
What are they
Colorado. Like
doing
how I don't know if
Colorado?
I don't know if anyone in Sterling, Colorado has ever tried to like get near a cat, but I'm sure trying to give them some sort of tail light is not easy. I'm sure it is not.
I know. Why?
A tail light could certainly help protect cats in the dark from being hit by cars, but we
Oh.
sure wouldn't want to be the ones attaching the tail lights. That's what it says. Wow.
Mm.
This one has no description under it. It just says the law, and this moves on. In one Oklahoma town, dogs may not congregate in groups of 3 or more on private property unless they have a permit signed by the mayor. Now, there's nothing added on after that, but my question is, do the dogs
have a permit?
do the dogs need to contact the mayor? Who needs to be on the phone? Is it an email? What's up with that?
Email, text.
Exactly.
The
sliding
dogs
into
need a
DMs,
permit.
The mayor's DMs.
Exactly.
Mr.
A dog
Poodle.
has to be like, hey, me, Scruffy, and Spot all want to link up. What's good? Can you sign this permit, please?
Where's your permit?
And then the mayor's like, yeah, for sure. You can have a play date. Will you stop emailing me?
I wonder how, like, dog parks work then.
Well, this is private property. I assume
Oh,
since dog
okay,
parks
okay,
are probably
yeah.
public. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So if you own, obviously you don't know the answer to this question, but I wonder if you.
No, I do know the answer
own
to all of these
3
questions,
dogs.
Chris, of course.
Okay, so Gavin, yeah, okay.
Yes, as
If
the
you
expert
own
on Oklahoma, never
Right,
having been
in
near
this
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma town,
Yes,
if you have 3 or more dogs, you have to get a permit for them?
I think so. But I think in a lot of places you need to have some sort of thing from the government that you have a dog, like a permit, not necessarily sometimes a permit. So like, it's not that far off, I don't think.
Yeah, I think New York. I don't know if you have to register your dog, but your dog has identification kind of tags saying they got shots. I'd imagine it's kind of the same type of gist.
Yeah, something like that. Another Oklahoma ordinance forbids making ugly faces at dogs. Some laws may have the intent to protect people rather than pets. Making ugly faces at dogs? That could be considered harassment of the animal and might incite some dogs to bite. Oklahoma, you can't make ugly faces at dogs. I think that would be a great
I'm
joke
sorry,
because
sir.
what if someone was like smiling at your dog and you were like, okay, you have an ugly face. Stop looking at my dog. Like
What if
that,
you're
I'm
just
sorry,
staring
sir. I
at
wasn't
it?
making
But
an
like,
ugly face. I was just looking at it.
yeah, like what if someone ugly is just staring at a dog
This
and you're
is
like, hey,
this
stop
is
making
just my face.
stop making an ugly face. They're like, that's my face. And you go, oh, you should
This is
leave.
my face, sir.
Exactly. This side, I guess, is just all about dogs and cat laws. We'll get to some other ones later, but we're gonna keep going.
I want to hear some goldfish laws.
You want some more gold? If I find more goldfish laws, I will let you know, even after we finished with recording this. In International Falls, Minnesota, cats are not permitted to chase dogs up telephone poles.
That is really cool if a dog can get up a telephone pole.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it would kind of be vice versa.
True.
Leah, your dog
Yeah,
can't even get up
cats
on
are
your
not permitted to
couch.
chase dogs up telephone. Yeah, what? Like the dog's not typically running into trees. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, but Minnesota. All right,
Leah, I know your puppy can't even get up on your couch, let alone climb up a
Well,
telephone
he
pole.
will. He'll be able to later. Trust me. And when that day comes, I'm not looking forward to
just
it.
wait until a cat chases him up a telephone pole. You will be.
Oh yeah, Basset Hounds, totally.
Oh my
They can do it.
Oh, of course. They get a lot of regular exercise up telephone poles.
Mm-hmm.
In Barber, North Carolina, takes the phrase "fighting like cats and dogs" seriously because the practice is illegal. It forbids the fights featuring
Good.
dogs against cats. I don't know if
But
dog
only
on
dogs
dog is
against
okay,
cats?
cat on cat,
Yeah.
but dog v cat, that's a no-no in Barber, North Carolina. You'd think that'd be more common.
That's so specific. They must have had some underground dog cat fighting ring.
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta put a stop.
I don't know. Well,
They're
because
only
it
dogs and
says
cats,
that one wonders if the North Carolina ordinance has come into a time when dog fighting and cock fighting were legal. Some wonders if people were like, all right, so we can have like roosters fighting and dogs fighting, but dogs versus cats, we're better than that.
Cockfighting is a thing, like with the roosters and stuff. I put that down on we had a quiz
You've
in like middle school, and I
participated in
put down cockfighting.
You wrote
On
cockfighting
the
on the middle school
quiz.
quiz.
oh
And
my
the teacher
goodness.
was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I don't know. I just read it in a book. It was there. It's part of like what happens." And she was
She's
like,
like,
"You know,
"Don't
that's
look that
really
up on
brutal,
Google."
right?" I was like, "I didn't know."
I have no words. So let's move on to the next one. These next few are all from Illinois. It says that Illinois has several unusual laws pertaining to pets. That it is illegal to give a dog whiskey. It is illegal to give it a lighted cigarette to a dog, and to keep a smelly dog, or to take a French poodle to the opera. So
I
you can't
don't
give
What's the
wanna
point?
know how-
Can't give a
having
dog
a dog.
whiskey. What's the point of having a dog? It's illegal to give a dog whiskey, a cigar, to keep it smelly, or to take a French poodle to the opera. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever been to an opera, but
Like we said in our old podcast,
there's no other dog I would want besides a French poodle.
we
That's
said
why you
we
get
said in
one.
our old podcast that all these laws had to start from somewhere, and I feel like someone did something to their dog, either gave them a thing of whiskey or gave them a cigar, and that's why this was created. Which is good that this law exists, but the fact that this law exists, that like someone had to do that.
That there must be like I want to
Really?
know what the opera was that someone brought a French poodle to. Did they bring other dogs to the opera before that? Where did we draw the line with French poodle?
Poor French poodle.
That's my question. All right, now we're on a new site. It's called entirelypets.com /
Ooh, that sounds so
animal
reputable.
laws .html if you wanted to check it out for yourself. You know the site's up to date because the first thing it says is celebrate 2013 election day with these 10
Oh,
bizarre
yeah.
animal laws from around the United States. So you know it's up to date.
Election day.
Mhm.
But
What
20
election day in
2013 election day. Maybe it was a midterm. Who knows? All right, let's jump right up. Oh my God, the first law says Chicago, Illinois, it's illegal to give a dog whiskey or other strong drinks. So it's the same thing as the other one.
It's really
Already
hammered
off to
home.
a fantastic start. Let's jump to the next one. South Dakota, no horses are allowed into Fountain Inn unless they are wearing pants. I've never tried to put pants on a horse. I would imagine
I
it
didn't know
is
they had pants before.
not easy.
Wait, didn't someone like get a tux for a horse or something? Wasn't
I feel like
that,
I've seen memes
Oh,
of like
yeah.
horses wearing clothes. Yeah.
There was a thing like last year that someone made a tux for a horse. Like they tailored a
like an
suit for a horse.
Armani type of tux for a horse? Can you
Yeah.
imagine, like horses
that-
already have so much they have to do.
They
Like
got so
don't
much
don't
going on.
put a tux.
But the horse did really look good though.
True.
But like that's
Dapper.
uncomfortable.
He was really looking good though.
He was, the things you have to do for fashion.
He do be vibing though.
He do be vibing. In Berkeley, California, it is unlawful to whistle for your escaped bird before 7 a.m. Your pet bird. It is illegal to whistle for them. Unlawful. It's not illegal. It's unlawful to whistle for them before 7 a.m. So
if
I
you're a
wonder
bird-
how common occurrence it was that people were whistling early in the morning for their pet bird before it had to warrant legislation. That's my question.
If you're a bird, if you're gonna escape, break out before 7 a.m.
Yeah, because then they can't catch you.
Get you.
They cannot catch you. In Arkansas, it is illegal to blindfold cows on public highways.
Like if you're transporting them, or like
That's a great question. It does not
because
give
like
the
you know
answer.
people like who rescue animals sometimes they like cover the eyes so they
Yeah, I don't know if it means that
Yeah.
if it's a cow that you find, if you're like, hey, shh, 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 you know how you have to shush animals? You go, hey, shh, let me just blindfold you. Or if someone just like walks a cow into a highway blindfolded and goes, okay, here you go, be free.
Dang.
I don't-
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This next law we talked about in our original podcast, which was one of the ones that two of those actually are on this list that I see. It's coming up. This one comes out of Alabama. It is against the law to teach a bear to wrestle.
Yes, this was one of the best ones. Oh my gosh.
Yes, so it's against the law to teach a bear to wrestle, which means at some point someone taught a bear to wrestle. If anyone
I
has
don't
any
think we
information
used
on
this
that,
one.
please contact us. I would love to know more about it.
Hmm.
Was this the law that
It was no bear
Um,
wrestling in Alabama. This was one of them.
right? Was this the law that we didn't actually use in our podcast, but Christian thought that we did? So then he
Yeah.
said that
Well, we were
Yes.
gonna use it.
we. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was
He
like,
just
I like
spoiled
the bear
it.
wrestling one.
Yeah.
And we were like, we didn't have that
right.
one.
Here's another one before we get to another one that we have talked about before. Paulding, Ohio. A police officer may bite a dog to quiet him. Now, police officers are doing a lot of things currently, but I would like to know the thought process of an officer biting a dog. I guess in these current days, that probably wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
Giving him a taste of his own medicine.
Exactly.
Like, but why does this exist? Like, why does that law exist?
I mean, at some point, they were like, hey, we really need to get control of these dogs. You know how hard they are to get close
Let's
to.
just
Let me
bite
bite
them.
them.
right in the butt. Let's just bite them in the butt, and then they'll listen. That's exactly how it's gonna go down. You know?
You should try that with your dog.
Ha! No. Because then Felix will start to tease me, and I already have like 10 scratches from him. And then Oishi would be like, "What the heck are you doing?" And Lulu would growl at me, and then Maya would be like, "Pet me."
How many
some more."
dogs do you have? Do you have 4 dogs?
I have 4 dogs. We are loaded with dogs.
Oh my goodness. One of them's a puppy, right? You have a new dog?
Hmm.
Wow. Well, don't take your dog to the movies anytime soon in Baltimore, Maryland, because in Baltimore, Maryland, it is illegal to take a lion to the movies. That's another one we've talked about before.
Oh yeah, that was the one we talked about. That's a
I
classic.
am curious, in Baltimore, Maryland, where did they get a lion? I assume a zoo. But if you get a lion out of a zoo, is your first thought, let's see what screenings are happening at the movies? Was it to watch Lion King? Was it to watch Sonic? I don't know.
Probably
I
the
don't-
Lion King. Get that.
I
get
would
that
assume the
popcorn,
Lion King. I don't
You
know.
know?
It's gotta be
the
Lion
goodie.
King. It's
Yeah.
gotta be Lion King.
In Massachusetts. Chris, you're from Massachusetts, right?
Last time I checked.
You're from Massachusetts?
Yeah. Last time I checked.
Great.
Yeah.
So in Massachusetts, so this applies to you. Gorillas are not allowed in the back seat of any car. So they gotta ride shotgun or drive the car.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Have you-
Chris, do you ever
have you
gorilla
broken
in
that
your
law
car right
before?
now?
I think I took my gorilla to the movies last weekend.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully they didn't catch you on video.
How do you get a gorilla?
How do you not get a gorilla? They seem so friendly. How
They're
do you
big,
how
though.
do you get a
Usually,
gorilla
like,
into a car? Also, what kind of car? It's not a Prius. I can tell you they're not trying to fit a gorilla into a Prius.
No, it's gotta be something big.
It's not a smart
That'd
car.
be like
Gotta
your
be.
brother's car, Chris. Like the big
Yeah,
pickup
the pickup truck.
Yeah, it's gotta be a pickup
What?
truck. An SUV,
Why?
really big one.
Like this goes back to the whole Leah thing where she was saying like it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
This had to come from somewhere. Someone had a gorilla and they put it in a car, and the cops were like, "We don't have a law about this."
Does it,
We
does it
haven't.
They're
say
like,
where exactly did they find the person that had the
It does not say. I'm
That'd
sure.
be kind of interesting. I'd like
Again,
to know where in
If
Massachusetts.
someone
that-
can let us know why gorillas are not allowed in the back seat
Yes.
of any car, not just in a car, but in the back seat of a car in Massachusetts, let us know.
Because maybe it happened near Chris.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe.
We're not gonna
Maybe-
say his
maybe it was
town,
me.
but maybe it was. Maybe it was Chris.
Exactly. So in Texas, it is illegal to shoot a buffalo from the second story of a hotel. So there's a lot of hunting laws that most of them do make sense,
We're sad.
but
It's a very specific
it
law. though.
appears that not only is it acceptable to shoot a buffalo out of a first story window of a hotel, but it is also perfectly reasonable to be able to shoot one from the second story of a residence. So can you shoot it from the second floor of a house, just not a hotel? What about motel? Hotel, motel, Trivago? I don't know. In Texas. That's a big question.
Trivago.
Really, with any of these ones, if you know more information about this, please let us know. Finally, from this website, it is illegal in Missouri. It is illegal to provide alcohol to elephants.
Oh my gosh, no.
That's just
Because I
that's the
can
second
imagine
alcohol one.
elephants stumbling around sounds dangerous.
That sounds
I don't.
like a lot of
but this
destruction.
law exists for a reason. Someone did something like that. I don't like that.
Exactly.
people do
Anything,
literally
any
anything.
animal to. It's like okay. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, so that was all of that website. Let's see. All right, this is the final site that we're going to look at. This is from bitrebels.com. So probably a very reputable source. If you're listening to us from bitrebels.com and you want to sponsor us, we think you're a very reputable source. So this one has ones from all around the world. Ooh. We're gonna
Just
start-
like our
Continent,
podcast name.
maybe?
Exactly.
Can you do that?
Starting with US and Canada, we're going to go speed round. First impressions of it, we're just going to buzz right through them. So, Alaska, it is illegal to tie a dog to the roof of your car. Thoughts?
No.
That's probably
No,
for the
no,
best.
no. Who did that? First
It's
of all,
probably for the
Good.
best. I agree. Arkansas, after 6 p.m., dogs in Little Rock are banned from barking. So, I think we've talked about that. I think that's similar to the one we've talked about. Of
yeah,
like
good luck
a
controlling
lot
your
of
dog
stopping
barking.
dogs barking. In Connecticut, where I'm from, it is against the law to educate a dog in Hartford, Connecticut. So no education. So can't go to Yale or Sacred
training your
Heart or
dog.
any other Connecticut colleges. It's against the law to educate your dog. I don't know if they're scared. Dogs are going to take over. What's up with that? Any thoughts, Leah?
I mean, I've seen videos of like there was this video of a dog and he knew like 50 words and he'd press the buttons to
Oh, yeah, where
correspond
they
with
press
the
the
actions
buttons.
that he
I
wanted to
love
do.
those ones.
So
yeah.
wouldn't it be kind of helpful if, you know, you trained your dog and you educated him to click on a word where it was like door, and you know, door has to mean, oh, I want to go out on a walk or I have to use the bathroom. So I'm kind of
I mean,
for
it-
the
it
educating as
seems
long as there's no
good.
abuse.
My dog
Yeah.
can let himself in from outside and close the door behind him. So I think he's
Really?
pretty smart. But of course, he wasn't educated in Hartford, Connecticut. Moving on. Oh, my goodness. This one mentions goldfish, but it's not a theoretically goldfish law. So I'm sorry, Chris.
That's
This
okay.
is in
As
Florida.
close as we
It
can
says,
get.
you better keep your best goldfish impression under wraps in Miami because it's illegal to imitate an animal there.
You can't do the goldfish thing.
You can't do the
Can't do the face. No,
what's the penalty, did they say?
No,
Yeah.
these are speed laws.
Oh, they're just
There's
the laws.
no, it's
Oh,
just a
speed
list.
run.
It's an infographic.
So you can't do duck
Oh.
face when you're trying to take a selfie.
Exactly.
Like.
All right. In Idaho, you can't seek refugee in a dog kennel. It is illegal for a person to sleep in a dog kennel in Idaho. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Hey, that sounds like a perfectly
that's-
reasonable law to me.
That sounds like a you problem.
It sounds like find another place to sleep.
Exactly. In Reed City, Michigan, animal lovers must choose between owning cats or birds as they are not allowed to own both.
That makes sense though, but
That does make
I mean,
sense.
I kind of
Yeah.
prefer birds because I've had very bad experiences with cats, and it wasn't even just like what I did to the cat. It was just like the cat did not like me, you know.
Well, that cat was also just bad cat.
I'm not even like cats that like not even her cat, but like just
Oh,
other
it's just
cats
another
do
cat?
not like me, and it's fine because I'm really terrified of cats.
That's okay. Cats aren't that great anyway. Moving on. Ohio. Chris, I know you're going to love this one. Laws in Ohio forbid you from getting a fish drunk.
How do
So,
you
Oh
do
my
that?
gosh.
How do
You
you
put
do
like
that?
fill
you
their
put like
bowl with
vodka in
vodka.
the water.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my God.
horrible. That makes sense, but also, I guess fish aren't down to clown. They can't give consent.
Sounds.
But like, did you know that
Wow.
they also make wine for dogs, which I imagine doesn't have any type of alcohol in it, but
Probably
they do
not.
make wine for dogs. Like that is a thing.
I have heard about that, yeah. That's all that we have for American laws. We're going to go into some European ones, and then, I don't know. Oh, there is some Australia ones later. All right, we're going to go into some European laws. Speed round. In France, owners of pigs are forbidden from calling it Napoleon out of respect for Napoleon Bonaparte. So you cannot name your pig Napoleon in France. You know what? I'm sure there's plenty of other names you can do.
You name it Bonaparte or whatever.
You can name it
Just
the
not
second part of
first
the name.
name.
In Hungary, since a law passed in 2001, cats in Lurich can only be taken on the street if they are on a lead. So you have to have a leash for your cat in Hungary.
That's okay. That's normal
Yeah.
though. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not,
I can see that.
yeah. All right. So in Iceland, for many years, dogs were banned from the city limits of Reykjavik after poop scooping laws failed to work. So they were like, people aren't picking up their dog poop. Let's just ban them from the city. That
So there's no dogs in that city.
I
Jeez.
I think it might have changed, but at one point they were banned from the city limits of Reykjavik, Iceland. I think that's the capital of Iceland.
Mm.
Talk about one person ruining it
Interesting.
for everybody else.
I mean, but like even at school, there are people that don't pick up their dogs stuff, and it's annoying to see that people don't do that.
Yeah.
So
All right, I
yeah,
got
I
three here from Italy. I'll save the goldfish one for last because I have a goldfish one. Dog owners in turn are legally required to walk their pets at least 3 times a day or risk a fine. But who's counting?
How do they?
That's a good
So
law.
yeah, who's counting?
That was in Italy. Pets in Reggio Emilia won't go hungry, as the laws say that if a pet shares a meal, it must be given equal proportions. Otherwise, the owner could be fined. So yeah, you got to feed your pets. That makes sense.
So like if you have 2 pets and stuff, you gotta feed them the exact same portions.
No, I think it's that if
You just
you're
gotta feed them. Period.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think so. All right, my last Italy law, not the last law, but my last Italy law. In 2005, goldfish bowls were banned from Rome after keeping goldfish as a pet was declared cruel. Chris, no
What?
goldfish in 2005.
No goldfish in Rome?
No, because that's cruel. I guess.
How is it
What if
cruel?
that's like the only pet
They're
you could get?
goldfish.
Is like a goldfish, yeah.
I don't know. They got feelings. They got short-term memory. All right, let's see.
That's what I heard.
Norway. Only male cats and dogs can be neutered in Norway. The females of the species are spared by law. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you don't really need to if you got the other side.
Yeah, exactly. In Sweden, it is the law that dogs attending a daycare center must be able to see out of a sunny window. That's nice. That's sweet. You want the dog to be able to look outside to see the
Aw.
sun.
That's cute. That's my favorite.
Here's 2 from Switzerland. Pets in Switzerland will never get as lonely as the law says they must have a companion. So
Yay!
multiple pets.
I like
We're
these happy
really ending it
laws.
on a good note here.
Yeah, let's
And-
do that.
All right, I got another Switzerland and then a few more UK ones, and then I think we can end it there. So let's see. Switzerland. People must pass written and verbal tests before they are allowed to own a dog in Switzerland. That also makes sense. You should
That makes
able
really
to,
good
like-
sense. I think we should do that here.
be knowledgeable. You think what?
I think we should do that here.
I agree. We should. People.
That's what the SPCA does. Is like if you're not like if you are trying to get a dog, they will interview you and they'll come to your house sometimes and they'll see what your living accommodations are, and if they don't like it, then you don't get the dog. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Here's a few from the UK. It is against the law to let your pet mate with a pet from the royal house. So you know how the queen has all those
All the corgis.
Yeah. Your corgi
I don't think anyone's gonna be touching
can't
the corgis.
mess
the
with a
queen.
royal corgi. Exactly. It is illegal for a cab in the city of London to carry rabid dogs. Sorry, guys, you've got to walk. That's what it says. Sorry, you can't have rabid dogs in the cabs in London.
I
Darn.
wouldn't want to be near a rabid anything.
Exactly. And my last UK one. If asked not to by a police officer, no person on the Lancashire coast can incite a dog to bark. Okay. If a police is like, hey,
Alright.
don't do that. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
All right, so we're going to end it. This is personally one of my favorite laws. This was one of the favorites from the podcast that we did for class, which is in coming back to America in New Orleans, Louisiana, you may not tie an alligator to a fire hydrant. What do you guys think about that?
I want to know the story about why a fire hydrant and an alligator were close together and why someone tied it. Who has an alligator? And then who thought it was a good idea to tie the alligator to a fire hydrant and just leave it there?
No, that's a very good point.
What's the story here?
Aren't alligators really strong and like basically can pull their weight times 100?
What if they
in a
pull the
way?
fire
So,
hydrant out of the ground? I mean,
exactly.
who knows if they're aggressive? They're in New Orleans, so they're vibing, probably.
Right, they're just chilling with their Mardi Gras beads.
Exactly. All right. Well, now let's go through. Let's do a throwback. Let's find some favorites. All right. Well, so one of my favorites is that the Delaware, it's illegal to sell a dog's or cat's excess hair because it really do be sounding like there's some fur collectors in Delaware. There's a whole underground market we don't know about. Leah, what are some of your favorites?
I really liked that you have to have like a verbal test in order to get a dog or to adopt a dog. Because
That one just like makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you want to be well prepared to have a dog because it's not something you can just up and get and then leave.
Exactly.
One of my other favorites was that you cannot give a dog alcohol or a cigar because I really don't like any type of abuse to any animal. So any law that is loving and does not prohibit any abuse is going to be my favorite.
Oh yeah, I love that. That's so sweet. I like the one where the elephant, you can't give the elephant alcohol. Was that one of them? Because you don't want an elephant stumbling around. That's gonna hurt someone.
That was a funny one though. Yeah.
Chris, do you have any favorites?
I really like that you can't have a dog bark for more than 10 minutes
That's
because
good.
that just seems like that's so specific. Like if it's 9
Yeah.
minutes and 59,
Does someone have a stopwatch
seconds,
ready to
then-
go? Like,
yeah, like where's your proof? No, my dog
Exactly.
was barking for 9 minutes, not 10 minutes.
I also like in Georgia, in that one county, you can't use a goldfish to entice someone for a game. You can't entice that. You're gonna
That's
win.
sad though, because I had some good memories with goldfish that you'd win.
Well, it's a
I
good
like
thing
playing
that you
games
were
and
never
stuff.
in Athens, Clark County, Georgia.
I'd be
I
a
like the
criminal.
alligator one
that was the
against
case.
the fire hydrant. I think that one was pretty funny.
That is a pretty good one. Well, that does it. It was a lot of pet laws more so than animal laws, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can make this the outro. So thank you so much for listening to This Strange World. I'm Gavin.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Chris.
We're going to be coming out with new episodes every week. Not always about animal laws. Be sure to stay tuned for next time, where just a little teaser, Leah is going to be talking to us about a conspiracy theory. Ooh.
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 Wow, that was so well timed out, guys. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Follow us wherever you're listening, wherever you get your podcasts, or wherever we post this. Who knows? And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. If you want more of This Strange World, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at This Strange World Podcast and on Twitter at This Strange Pod.
Welcome to the end of the show where we talk about the sources, because I read this off of websites, and I want to give credit where credit is due. The first article I read was from pawculture.com. You know, big fan of paw culture, obviously. The second one was from dogtime.com. Again, love me some dogtime.com. The third one was from entirelypets.com. Odd animal laws. So, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. And then the final ones were from bitrebels.com /lifestyle /40-strangest-pet-laws-around the world /. So if you want to check that out,
Yeah.
there you go. You got to type that out. So that's that. This is the true ending. Thank you for listening. Catch you on the
Thank
next
you.
one.
Bye.